Welcome to the webinar for promoting a successful app from installs to sales. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Christine DiMartini, and I'm the Product Marketing Manager for our mobile app ads business. It's a pleasure to be chatting with you guys today. The Facebook family of apps has been and continues to be uniquely positioned to help our app business partners promote and grow their app businesses. Today, in this session, we're going to start by exploring how the mobile app landscape has evolved, the new challenges that app businesses are facing, and how Facebook solutions can help address these challenges. We're going to dive deeper into three key themes in growing your app business. First, from finding valuable customers for your app to creating engaging, thumb-stopping content in feed, and then ultimately driving business value over time with re-engagement. But first, let's look at some stats that define our mobile app ads landscape today. As we all know, people are spending a lot of time in mobile, especially apps. Between 2013 to 2015, time spent in apps has grown 90%, a much faster rate than any other digital channel. And when we look at it in terms of the ecosystem, in terms of the number of apps, it's growing incredibly fast. Today, there are more than 4.2 million apps in the App Store and Google Play stores. The challenge this poses for businesses is no longer just app discovery, but rather app discovery by the right people, more valuable customers who will engage with your app over time. Many of the partners that we work with focus solely on install acquisition, getting as much ad delivery as possible to drive discovery and low-cost installs. This is a strategy that has worked for some time now. However, it's increasingly challenging to find users that take a valuable action in app beyond the install and repeat those valuable actions over time. Valuable actions such as making a purchase, booking a trip, or reaching a level in a game. In the gaming industry, 50% of gamers don't open the game app after the first day. And this illustrates that businesses should not only be focused on volume of installs and discovery by anybody, but rather discovery by the right customers. Finding the right customers is finding those who take these valuable actions and repeat those actions over time, increasing their lifetime value and helping achieve your true business outcomes. So to summarize, not all installs are created equal. It's important to now recognize the balance that exists between install volume, finding the valuable customers who drive these repeat actions over time. And at Facebook, we have solutions to help with this. To get your app discovered and to find valuable customers, you need to reach people where they spend their time, the Facebook family of apps and services. Our mobile app advertising solutions are some of the best in the business. And more than 25,000 advertisers have come to us to promote their apps, and we've helped by driving over 2 billion app installs. So now, let's dive into the three key themes we're going to be discussing in how we can help build and grow successful mobile app businesses. These include reaching the most valuable people for your app, doing so in creative and thumb-stopping ways in feed, and encouraging that repeat behavior over time to increase value. We'll dive into each one of these themes and explore some of the product solutions that Facebook provides and some examples of how advertisers have used these solutions to grow their business. So let's start now with reaching the most valuable people. To acquire installs that will provide the most value, it's important to know what your true business goals are. This is beyond just the cost per install and understanding how value differs across various types of customers. This can be done in two ways. One key way to reach your most valuable customers is to look at your own user base and better understand what does value mean to your business. No one will know what's most valuable to your business better than you will. Let's start talking about your people. Who is going to do what in your app? Even if you are just logging installs, you can still dig into the demographics that are most active in your app today. We recently introduced Audience Insights for App Analytics, enabling you to glean even more insights such as education, profession, income, marital status, and much more. Analytics can help you understand who your highest potential audiences are and tailor your message for optimal relevance. With this analysis, you can create a targeting strategy to reach people most similar to your existing high-value users using lookalike audiences. Let's look at this case study for lookalike audiences using Good Game. Good Game, a gaming advertiser, has a player acquisition strategy using custom audiences based on app events. They created lookalike audiences that not only drove better in-game key performance metrics for them, but also showed a better conversion funnel, which led to new scaling opportunities for them. Good Game Studio measures how far players advance from registration to a certain level, depending on each game to assess user quality. Based on this success metric, Facebook performed about 30% better than other paid channels in driving these high-value users. To further help businesses find who the right customer is for them, we have recently launched App Event Optimization. This helps you find new customers that are not only likely to install your app, but are more likely to take valuable actions in the app, such as making a purchase or playing to a specific level. Businesses across e-commerce, travel, gaming, and many others are seeing this help drive their true business goals beyond cost per install, whether that be reaching a level or making a purchase. This not only lowers the cost per desired action for them after the install, but it also has increased the revenue generated, focused on driving true business goals at a lower cost with higher value. Let's look at a couple examples of this. Penny Pop, one of our gaming clients, was excited to use this new product, App Event Optimization. We helped them not only decrease the cost per event that they cared about, but also by focusing on the right users, we helped drive growth in revenue. In the testing of this product, they saw an 80% decrease in cost per event and a 5x growth in lifetime value. To look at another example from Smule, which is also one of our clients, they used App Event Optimization to achieve their true business goal of converting installers to subscribers. They were able to improve their cost per purchase by 32% and also saw that revenue increased per user by 22%. Beyond gaming, Poshmark, an e-commerce client of ours, was excited with their early results on App Event Optimization. We helped them find people that were most likely to purchase in-app while decreasing their cost per event by 24%. App Event Optimization is working really well for advertisers across gaming, e-com, and travel in driving these downstream actions. And that is why theme number 1 is so important of reaching the most valuable people. But let's move on to the second theme, how to engage your valuable customers in creative and thumb-stopping ways. In mobile feed environments, everything is competing for attention. In mobile, you have 1.7 seconds to stop someone's thumb. In partnership with Twitter, we recently released a joint paper that looked into how people react to content on their phones. What we concluded with this study is that content consumption in mobile feeds is inherently different from content consumption on other platforms, such as desktop or TV, and even different than on mobile apps and sites that aren't feed-based. On average, people consume mobile content on Facebook faster than on desktop, 1.7 seconds versus 2.5 seconds. Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook all also found that scrolling speeds varies by age, with younger people moving more quickly through their feeds. However, content viewed quickly can still break through and be memorable. Twitter and Instagram and Facebook found that the recall of messages can occur in very short amounts of time, even in the first second. According to independent Force-Marsh testing, people can recall mobile newsfeed content at a statistically significant rate after only 0.25 seconds of exposure. In a separate study conducted with Nielsen, Twitter found significant ad recall of promoted video on mobile at the 1 second threshold, meaning that after only 1 second, ad recall goes up enough to be attributed to exposure. To grab attention in feed, consider using creative formats like video, GIFs, cinemagraphs, and other tactics that grab attention with simple and subtle motion. We've recently announced the ability to use new creative formats with app ads, both dynamic ads and Canvas. You should use these formats to demonstrate the experience and the value exchange consumers are going to get with your app. Most recently, we've extended the power of dynamic ads to drive mobile app installs. Dynamic ads enable advertisers with large product catalogs to automatically promote relevant products across Facebook, Instagram, and the Audience Network. You can now leverage your dynamic ad campaigns to drive installs of your app. This allows you to grow an install base of people who are interested in your businesses and products indicated by their behaviors on web and translate that into mobile app installs. Our second update on the creative front is that you now have the opportunity to showcase your app in a more immersive ad experience through Canvas. Canvas is our newest ad format. Canvas will be available to advertisers who want to drive app installs or app re-engagement. This means you'll be able to bring your app to life in a mobile ad showing more of the app experience and giving people a bit of a sneak peek into what they can expect. This means the people who download your app will be more likely to enjoy it after they decide to download. The creative example that you see is from one of our beta partners, Product Madness, and has seen some early success in using Canvas to drive high-value installs for Heart of Vegas slots game. As I mentioned at the start, on average, more than 50% of an app's users do not open the app again after the first day. And of the users who do open the app after the first day of installing, more than half of those then stop using the app after the first week. Re-engagement and repetitive behavior is critical. So let's now dive into our third theme. Encouraging repeat behavior is crucial to long-term success. After the install, you can drive existing users back to your app from Facebook. You can drive re-engagement with high LTV users, recent purchasers, or customers of other product lines. With a successful history of performance marketing, let's look at the Just Eat Italy example, as they were extremely keen to test and learn with direct response on Instagram. For their campaign, Just Eat created high-quality photos that focused on the food and acted as a visual call to action for anyone who had a craving to satisfy or simply didn't fancy cooking dinner that night. Combining mouth-watering creative with a clear and concise call to action, Just Eat Italy was able to capitalize on Instagram's highly engaged audience and deliver excellent results, including a 48% lower cost per install compared to other platforms, and a 2.7x better cost per action when looking at the in-app orders versus other platforms. Let's look at another example from Zynga of a campaign that they ran during the holidays. During this campaign, Zynga wanted to drive in-game revenue for Wizard of Oz slots. they decided to run a 2-week mobile app ad campaign that ran across Facebook, Instagram, and the Audience Network focused on re-engagement. Their creative strategy was to use imagery from the mobile app, including Dorothy, Toto, and the Munchkins, along with animated slot machines. It accessorized this ad set with the holiday-style decals, such as holly borders or Santa hats on Dorothy and her little dog Toto too. Ad copy called out the various promotions being offered during the campaign, including enormous reward bonuses. Zynga urged audiences to not miss out on these deals and to then come back with a play now call to action. The results on the slide are really powerful, but let's dig into these in terms of what audiences they actually ran. Zynga created 2 sets of custom audiences that ran along with another always-on generic engagement message. Here's how they built out their targeting strategy. First, they created a custom audience of current players who had not yet made an in-app purchase. With this audience, they saw a 6.5x increase in total return on ad spend among these 7-day active but non-payer players. Then Zynga created a second custom audience to re-engage paying players who had lapsed. So this segment was comprised of 7-day lapsed players who had made an in-app purchase. For this tactic, Zynga saw over a 19x increase in total return on ad spend amongst this group. Overall, Zynga's holiday campaign was a great re-engagement tool for their company, achieving an overall 6x increase in total return on ad spend when averaged across both of the groups. And because of this success, Zynga plans to continue its re-engagement campaigns to steadily grow the base of players across their games. We covered a lot today, but in summary, a couple takeaways is that app businesses are now focusing beyond installs, looking for the right customers that drive value for their business over time. At Facebook, we have solutions that will help you grow your business by attracting the right people likely to take that action that's valuable, like making a purchase, booking a trip, or reaching a level in a game. And attracting those right people with engaging content in thumb-stopping ways in feed, and driving that repeat behavior over time through re-engagement to increase the lifetime value for your business. Thank you so much for joining us today and for your continued partnership. We really hope that this content was beneficial. I can't wait to continue to work with you all to grow and create value together. And with our remaining time, we're going to now open it up for any questions that you may have.
We're now going to take questions coming in from the audience. To ask a question, just type it into the Ask Questions window at the bottom bar on your screen. We're also going to prompt a post-webinar survey, so stay tuned to the end to share your feedback with us. The first question we have is coming from Sally, who asks, are these products available in the US only or internationally as well? All of these products that we talked about, app event optimization, Canvas for mobile apps, and dynamic ads for mobile app install will all be available worldwide. Our next question is coming in from Leon, who asks, what is timing for availability of these products? App event optimization and Canvas are available worldwide today. For dynamic ads for mobile app install, this will be available to advertisers around the world through the API today and in Power Editor in the coming weeks. Got some more questions coming in. Next one is from Oliver. Oliver asks, can you give me an example of how app event optimization works? Sure. Let me go through an example. Say you have a mobile app that sells shoes. Currently, you want to use that mobile app to find people most likely to install your app, optimized for bidding for installs. In addition to getting an install, you also want to make sure that the installs acquired are engaged in your app and take these valuable actions in the app. Let's say you've noticed that people who add items to cart have a significantly higher value than people who do not. By optimizing for app events, you can find people who are likely to install and add to cart, which is one of our standard app events. Our next question is coming in from Amy. Amy wants to know, how does Facebook actually determine who the ad is delivered to? Great question. We'll deliver impressions to people in an advertiser's target audience that are likely to take these valuable actions after seeing the ad. We determine this likelihood based on historical data from that ad, from that individual, and from people with similar characteristics. Ads are served to people we predict are likely to take the valuable action the advertiser is optimizing for. More questions coming in. We've got the next one here from David. David wants to know, how does bidding work? Is the advertiser still bidding for the cost of an install? In this case with app event optimization, the advertiser is bidding for the combined value of the install as well as the estimated value for the event that they want to have occur. These are great questions, guys. Our next one here is from Mary. Mary wants to know, what are all the distinct events in an app that Facebook is actually optimizing for and monitoring? For app event optimization, there are 14 standard events that advertisers can optimize for. Those events are listed in our documentation. However, I can read them out as loud. I can read them out as loud as well. You can optimize for level achieved, optimize for app launch, add to payment info, add to cart, add to wish list, completed registration, completed tutorial, initiated checkout, purchased, rated, searched, spent credits, unlocked achievement, and viewed content. Lots of events you can optimize for, and as I mentioned, they're on our documentation and help center documents. Next question comes from Amit. His question is, can an advertiser optimize for just one specific event, such as a purchase, or are all events treated equally in the optimization? At this time, when you're using app event optimization, an advertiser can only optimize for one event at a time. So pick the event that you want to test with first and see how that works, and you can always go ahead and test with other events as well. Our next question comes from Anthony. Anthony's question is, can an app limit the type of events that they share with Facebook, or does Facebook get visibility into all events regardless of what the app is optimizing for? The answer to Anthony's question is that Facebook will receive the data from the events that the advertiser has set up in their SDK. Our next question is from Carol. Carol wants to know where you can download this presentation. We will be sending out a recording of the webinar to all of the registrants in a few days. Linda's question that's come in says, for app event optimization, how do you set up the tracking needed in order to optimize for a specific in-app action? In order to set up this tracking, you can do so by integrating the Facebook SDK and then enabling to pass standard app events. As I mentioned earlier, there are 14 distinct app events that you can pass through. For of the standard app events, Linda also asked specifically about video play. Video play is not a standard app event, but you can optimize things such as purchase and the other 13 events that I listed earlier. Our next question comes in from Kevin. Kevin wants to know, aren't advertisers sharing app data with Facebook for their app event optimization campaigns also indirectly helping their competitors find and target their own users? The answer to Kevin's question is that the strongest signals of whether someone will complete an action in your app will be based on signals that come directly from your app. In addition to those signals, we look at aggregated data to try and predict the likelihood of someone completing an action. Next question is from Alfred, who asks, how much targeting power do we have for Instagram ads? Are they the same as Facebook? Instagram has the same targeting options as Facebook, and this product works across the Facebook family of apps and services. Our recommendation in testing is to look at is to optimize across platforms. Our next question is from Sherry. Her question is there a charge for using these features? These features are available to all advertisers. There is no special charge to use here. Annie asks, can we create custom events outside of the 14 preset events? Can we create these events for video plays as well as other events? At this time, you can create custom events to share with Facebook for purposes of analytics purposes. However, for app event optimization specifically, we only support standard events at this time. Next question comes from Casey. She asks, when will Canvas be out of beta? Casey, Canvas is out of beta and is available worldwide to advertisers today. These are really great questions, and we have a couple more coming in still as well. Erica asks, does the developer of the app need to set up the SDK themselves? Erica, if I interpret your question to mean that if you are a partner of the app developer, can you do it for them? The answer would be that the SDK implementation would need to happen within the app itself, and therefore whoever has access to set up the SDK in the app would be able to instrument the tech necessary in order to run app event optimization. The last question here comes from Adam. Adam wants to know, is dynamic ads available today? Looks like this is one of our last questions. And Adam, yes, dynamic ads is going to be available worldwide. However, the rollout will be taking place in the next couple weeks. Stay tuned for that announcement. These were great questions, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to our webinar today. As I mentioned, we will send out an email in the next few weeks with the recording for you to reference in the future. I hope everyone has a great day, and thank you so much for joining.